Hey everybody, welcome back to Trio Planet, the channel we talk all things media. How is everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. And welcome back. And as always, I am joined by the one, the only, the Astro.
Were
And
currently.
we just watched episode 5 of The Last of Us TV show. And tears were rolling. So yeah, we're on episode 5 of The Last of Us, and yeah, we're just gonna do our little breakdown, and then talk about it. So we'll do the breakdown.
So yes, welcome to The Last of Us episode 5, Endure and Survive title card. You're welcome, Jordan.
Thank you.
So yeah, wow, okay. Episode opens with a brief flashback into the liberation of Kansas City from Fedra. In The Last of Us lore, Fedra and Kansas City were like the worst of the worst. They were like murderers, rapists, all that sort of stuff. So they liberated, and they've sort of confined everyone who ever ratted on their neighbours in a cell, and they're looking for Henry, who sort of betrayed the leader of the rebellion to Fedra, or like someone that she cared about. Kathleen was like just a weird person, all in all. After we have a brief flashback period, we get to know Sam and Henry a little bit, get to connect with their characters. We cut back to present times where Sam is stood over Joel holding a revolver at his face, and Henry has taken Ellie hostage. They have a brief comical what happens now if I lower my gun, you're going to shoot me? And Joel's like, yeah, man, no, I'm not. He's not really convincing. They decide to eat together. They have a meal. They don't kill each other. It's progress for Joel's character, really, I think. He's not killed his best friend yet. Then we move to daytime, and the plan is to go into the sewers, which have been cleared out by Fedra 3 years ago. Again, more bonding between Ellie and Sam, and a little bit of bonding between Joel and Henry, but, you know, they're never going to really see eye to eye. We get to a street. It's nighttime. It's very quiet, and then bang, there's a sniper shot. They all run for cover. Henry and Sam decide they're going to try and run away, immediately get cut off by a sniper bullet, so they run back. Joel decides he's going to single-handedly deal with the situation, sneaks up behind the guy with the sniper, puts a bullet in him after telling him not to do it. Joel hears a radio. Kathleen and her merry band of goons are coming. Car is pushing cars out of the way. Joel takes like 18 different bullets to shoot the driver. Driver crashes the car. Car blows up. Ellie runs to Henry and Sam, getting cover. Henry surrenders. Like Kathleen's gonna kill him. She's pointing the gun, and then, oh no, what's this? What's happening? The floor's giving way. What's this? It's a horde of infected. Oh no. So everyone gets swarmed. Joel's providing cover fire. Henry and Sam are underneath a car. Ellie gets inside of a different car. We cut to Kathleen and her, like, I guess, boy toy. I don't know what the relationship between those two people is. And we see a hand emerge from the dirt, and we get our first ever look at a bloater in the show. And whoa, my god. The sound design, the power of the bloater is very well put across. Bloater literally lifts up Kathleen's like best friend and like rips his head off, which was like, you know, let's go. I never cheered for an infected so much. Ellie saves Sam and Henry. They're running. They meet up with Joel. Kathleen stops them. Kathleen gets jumped by a baby clicker. That was funny. She gets absolutely ripped apart. They get to a motel. They're living life. All the infected are running towards Kansas City. Their entire free rebellion is absolutely like fucked now. Kansas is a no-go zone. They get to a motel, chilling in the night. Sam shows Ellie that is infected, he's been bitten. Ellie tries to help him by giving him some of her blood. Cuts to the next day. Sam's infected. Henry shoots him. Henry has a midlife crisis right before our eyes before pulling the trigger on his own cranium. They get buried by Joel and Ellie. And then Ellie's like, come on, you lazy bastard. We're going on an adventure. And episode ends with a nice solemn musical tone. Lead us into basically the second arc of the show. The father-daughter arc has begun. But that was basically episode 5. It was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. A lot happened. It was very, very action-packed. Like, very action-packed.
It was non-stop action.
The entire Horde scene was like 10 minutes of pure action. And it was amazing, because it was just so tense. What did you think, Jordan?
I liked it. Like, obviously, it had everything you want. It had the action. It had the action. It had the style. It had just everything about this episode was really fun. The bloater looked fucking terrifying. Like, I know some of it is a guy in a suit probably, and then the rest, like, a lot of it is CGI. But damn,
I 100% think that was because the clickers in episode 2 were real actors.
yeah.
Like the movements were like completely done by them. The sounds were done by them. Those weren't added in post. They were done on set. Because Bella Ramsey did an interview where she said she can do a clicker noise, but it sounds more like a dolphin. But theirs on set was like, it was actually just terrifying for them.
If I remember, the person who voices the clickers in the game is the person who
both
voices
of them
in the
are.
show.
Yeah. Both of them are. And I 100% think that bloater was practical. No CGI, I think it was fully practical.
Yeah. Like, practical is a really good way to go when you're doing film and TV. I always say, when it comes to, like,
they're definitely getting an award for special effects.
When I say anything, when it comes to practical effects, same in, like, horror or anything, its practical effects is definitely a way to go. Sometimes a mix of practical and CGI is good.
There's like some things that can't be done practically. Like any show or movie that like has any form of magic has to be more CGI than practical, but some can be done practical. Like any fire spell can be done practically.
Exactly. Like, there's sometimes when practical stuff isn't gonna work, and then there's some where it will. But for a lot of stuff, practical effects is a way to go, especially when you're doing like zombies or anything like that. Practical effects is definitely a way to go. But if you're doing big hordes of creatures, then practical is not going to work.
75% of that will be like CGI, but I guarantee you there was like 10. Or like the little girl zombie was 100% real, and my god, what an actress. I don't know who she is, but my god, the stunts that she was pulling off inside that car,
she was moving about like really fluidly and wasn't even like, didn't look like
I was so surprised.
I was very surprised. I was like, the fuck is that kid doing, and how?
I can barely get into a car. And there she is doing somersaults in the middle of one.
They probably casted somebody who's in gymnastics.
Probably.
Somebody who can move their body that way. Same with a lot of the infected. They probably hired people who can move in specific ways.
Yeah. I definitely think that it's one of the few shows where part of me genuinely believes that these creatures are existing. Not like, oh yeah, they've just copy and pasted them into the frame to make it look like there's a load of them. I genuinely thought that many extras, that they had that many people pretending to be zombies.
They didn't look fake.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Every single one of them looked real. Story-wise, I think this episode was fucking phenomenal. I think it had the emotion it needed, and then it also had... It had the emotion it had the emotion it needed, and it also had the style and the aspect, and it had everything I specifically would want. And it was just sad with Henry needing to kill the kid and then doing it to himself afterwards, and it just felt heart-wrenching, really.
Yeah, it really did. And I've got to say, I was getting skeptical with the show. I was like, yeah, they're changing a bit too much for my liking. But this episode was like very, very different. Like a lot of the stuff in this show, in this particular episode, was quite different from what you play in the game. But I found myself just not caring. Like the amount of like infected they put on screen was like the same amount that you see at the start of Last of Us 2, when there's the actual first horde you ever see. And honestly, the fact that they're able to capture the essence of the game and amplify it is just a feat that I don't think I've seen in any other adaptation.
Yeah, like that's the thing with adaptations. When it comes to adaptations, you're not ever gonna fully get like a scene or shot by shot, because it's an adaptation. It's gonna change stuff, make it look different. But yeah, I think this show's definitely taking liberties with changing some stuff, but it's changing stuff but building upon what was there, making the thing from the game different. Like all those creatures coming in and everything, it added tension. It added a bit more to it that just makes you fucking terrified and worried for the characters. Like even though they've got a bit of plot armor, maybe you just feel like, no, you don't want these people to die or anything like that.
And speaking on all of that, in my current hyped up state after just watching it, I think I'm genuinely going to give this episode a 10 out of 10.
You know what?
I genuinely think it was that good.
I'm actually going to agree with you on that.
I think that was probably the best episode I've ever seen of any like zombie survival show or movie.
It's just different because something like this feels like it can happen.
Yeah, it had like the tension of like, do you know the World War Z pyramid hordes where they're like stacking up. It had that tension, put with the sound design of like the bloater. I don't know if you heard it when it was like moving, but like the sound that it made.
Yeah, the sound, like when you heard it when it originally was about to come out of the hole, and you heard the sound, it sounded so terrifying.
Cool. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Best episode.
Best episode so far.
It definitely puts the entire series as a whole at like a 9.9 out of 10. Just that one episode, it was so good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. But everybody, we hope you did enjoy today's video. Go to the link down below to our social medias. Comment down below as well. Did you like this episode? What did you think of this episode of The Last of Us? Are you enjoying our reviews and all that good stuff? We will read them. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I have been one of your hosts, Slasher.
Been your other host, as Terrell.
And we will see you all later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Forget 1,000 things every day, pal. Make sure this is one of them.
It's over, Anakin!